Hey, this is Andrew here at Vespa Portland, and today we're talking about the 2020 Vespa Sprint. Now you might be asking yourself, whoa, it's August. Why are we talking about a 2020 in August? Shouldn't we be talking about 21s? You're partly right. Coronavirus, I'm sick of talking about it, you're sick of hearing about it. Seems like it makes its way into every video lately. It obviously shut down production earlier in the year with pretty much everything, all over the world, appliances, cars, whatever, you name it. So Vespa has decided to wait until March 2021 to release the full line of 2021 scooters. So until then, they're going to keep making the 20s. So you got another 6-7 months before that happens. So we don't know what the colors will be yet for the 2021 line of Sprints. Right now you've got a yellow, a white, a gloss black, and a red. And then you've also got a Note, matte black, a glossy gray, and a matte blue. So this particular scooter is outfitted with a smoked windscreen, which looks really good on this yellow, and a top case with a matching backrest pad for a passenger that matches the seat. So that makes the scooter really capable for any kind of city living. You can carry a lot of stuff between the underseat storage and the top case there, as well as with the little bag hook down here in front of the seat. So the Sprint 150, it's going to go about 68 miles an hour before the rev limiter kicks on. It'll indicate 73, so you might think you're going faster if you get all the way up to the top there, but you're going about 68 for the most part. And that makes this scooter really capable, not only in the city, but on kind of longer rides. Today I'm going to go take a ride out to Sugarpine Drive In out in the historic Columbia River Highway. We're going to take Marine Drive to get there. So the difference between the 2020s and the 2021s that we can see so far, just based off looking at the Racing 60s Sprints, extremely minimal, if anything. Most likely just cosmetic. This is a scooter that is already in really great shape, and it's just already really a great bike, so there's not a lot of reason to change it. Now over the years, they've received some updates. They've gotten USB ports, which they didn't have when they introduced them in 2014, ABS brakes. Both the Primavera and the Sprint both have the taller 12-inch tire now instead of 11s on the Prima and 12s on the Sprint. So, slight incremental upgrades to what is kind of a proven great bike. Heading north on MLK right now. I'm going to head up to Marine Drive, maybe over to Sugarpine Drive In, and then maybe a bit of the Columbia River Highway. So the Vespa Sprint comes in two configurations. That's 50cc and 150cc. From a ergonomic standpoint, it's exactly the same. They use the same frame, same wheels, same bars, same all of that. It's just a matter of how fast does it go. The 50cc version is going to get you into the 30 to 35 mile an hour range. And the 150 is going to get up to an indicated about 73 to 75, which really means you're doing somewhere between 68 to 70. At 68, the rev limiter kicks on for the Vespa, and the engine basically protects itself, which is pretty awesome. This bike, the 150, is pretty much perfect for getting around a city, including short highway trips. I say short highway trips. I rode 464 miles between Mexico City and Guadalajara on rural highways and then some regular freeways, and it kept up just fine. So, you can do kind of whatever you want on this thing, but as a general rule, if you're doing a hell of a lot of freeway riding, you'd probably want to look up to the GTS. So here we are on Marine Drive. That's Government Island, Mount Hood right over there in the distance in Washington State, right on the other side of these trees. The Southwest plane taking off. So the Vespa Sprint wants to kind of sit around 50-ish. It's kind of a comfortable spot for it. It never feels like you're going that fast when you've got a windscreen installed. This particular Sprint has a smoked windscreen. There's a plane coming in right over us. Love this road. 12-inch wheels on the Sprint. Minimizes some of the bumps. It's a good size. You're still going to want to avoid potholes just to keep your ride smooth, but they are a nice, comfortable ride. Not a lot of vibration in the handlebars, not a lot of vibration in the scooter. So the Sprints are on a metal monocoque frame that's two pieces of metal welded together. Makes for a very nice, stiff, rigid ride, which is just really responsive and comfortable. Like you can just move your butt and it feels like you're in like the next lane that fast. And down in the glove box Down here, there is a USB port to charge up your phone. One common thing people add to their scooter is a RAM mount, phone mount. I recommend the spring-loaded one that holds your phone real nice and easy. It's fantastic, and then you can kind of snake the cord out from the glove box up to your phone and just keep charging it while you're riding. Getting close to Troutdale at this point. A little hectic over here, a lot of semi-trucks. Heading into downtown Troutdale, which is the start of the historic Columbia River Highway. Pretty cool thing to ride on. There's also outlet malls over here if you're into discounted clothing. You might also see this light flashing here on the dash. This says ABS. Now, as soon as I go 3 miles an hour, that light will extinguish. That's telling you that your ABS system is enabled. When you stop again at a stop sign or a red light or whatever, it'll start flashing again until you again roll 3 miles an hour to turn it off. It's just letting you know that that system works. The anti-lock brake system is on the front brake of the scooter. If you really grab it, it will not lock up and slide on you. Might save you in a panic situation. Moving to the middle of the dashboard here, you've got your miles an hour on the outer ring, and the inner ring is kilometers in case you cross a border into Canada or something. All right, here we are pulling up at Sugarpine Drive. Hi. Is it possible to like get an ice cream?
Yeah, ice cream through the drive-thru?
Sure.
There's that for you. If you wanted to sleep around, you can get ice cream right at the window.
Cool, thanks. Right now they're doing a lot of ice cream and refreshment kind of orders, but on a normal day, normal time, they got a bunch of cool sandwiches, delicious food here as well, which right now you can still get. You just have to go to ordersugarpine.com to get on it, or call.
Here you are.
Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Little one-handed riding. Find a parking spot. All right, that was delicious, as usual. Check that spot out. Really, really good. Sugarpine Drive In. It's on Instagram. You can check it out. And it's right by this really nice swimming hole down here, which is usually packed on the weekends, but on a weekday, have it pretty much to yourself. So we're going to take historic Route 30 and just talk about the Sprint a little bit more. It's a fuel-injected scooter, so you're actually going to be able to leave this thing in a garage if you can keep yourself from riding all year long. If it's cold out, rainy out, you don't want to deal with all that, whatever. It's not for everybody. You can leave it in the garage, put your scooter on a battery tender, and kind of rest assured that it'll be fine in the spring when you go to ride it again. I'm super lazy with my Vespa 150. I don't even leave it on a tender, and it always starts up after it's been sitting 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 months. Seat's pretty comfortable. I'm 6 foot, and no issues riding the Sprint for long periods of time. I think my longest straight through on one of these was 8 straight hours. At that point, it was a little painful, but on and off around the city, no problem on the seat. Oh wow, heading up to a landmark I haven't been to in a while. This is the Tippy Canoe. Shirley's Tippy Canoe. Used to be a really popular spot to go stop, get something to eat. It recently burned down. What a bummer. So the service interval on a Primavera or Sprint 150 is you want to come in at the first 600 miles, and there is a valve adjustment recommended by the factory on that first service. So that first service is a little more expensive just because you have to do that adjustment. After that, it's every 3,000 miles. Every 6,000, you'll do a major service where a belt and rollers need to be replaced. The drive belt in these, it's a CVT transmission. It's just a kind of a hardened rubber belt. That's got to be replaced from time to time, every 6,000 miles. But every 3,000 is fluid changes for the most part, either every 3,000 or 1 year, kind of whatever comes first. I really like the mirrors on the Sprint, this almost oval shape. Kind of feels like it gives you a little more horizontal field of view than you get with the rounded mirror on the Primavera. All right, here we are at the Women's Forum Viewpoint at the Columbia River Gorge. Right over there is the Vista House. We're not going to ride all the way to that, but if you come out to the Portland area, come check this area out. If you live here and you haven't ridden this yet, these are some really fun curvy roads that are quite scenic. Yeah, they're pretty fun. It's a Vespa Sprint.
Yeah, very, very well known.
I got it all the way there now.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Take care, buddy. All right, I'm gonna get heading back to town here pretty soon on the scooter. Before we get moving, just wanted to talk about these keys real quick. With every Vespa, you're going to get this master key. You should put this in a safe place. You can make more copies of keys off of this, but there's a chip in here that is linked to your scooter via the electronic control unit, and you don't want to lose this. This key right here, it's black, is the ignition key you should be using on the scooter. Now, what's a little bit confusing is, since there's a top case on this bike, there's actually two other black keys. These are both top case keys. You wouldn't have to have both of them, just one. You can see they look pretty similar to the ignition key. Eventually you'll figure out which one it is just by kind of the feel and look of it. But these little knobs that were left on here that were not cut off of this can kind of help determine which one is which. There's also a key fob that comes with these scooters. In the rest of the world, there's 4 functions. In the US, you get this side and that side. So if you press and hold this side long enough, it'll pop the seat open. And then if you press and hold this side long enough, it's a bike finder. It'll flash all your turn signals. I don't particularly find this super useful in the US. I doubt there's going to be a time when I'm around so many yellow Sprints that I can't tell which one I'm supposed to be riding. But the seat piece is a little bit useful. So just pressing and holding. And there you go. And you can get under the seat. All right. It's a beautiful view out here. Beautiful day. About to hit the road back toward Portland. We're going to head through Corbett, back through Troutdale. And then I might hit the freeway all the way back. I don't know. So for fuel economy, Vespa says 94 miles to the gallon. You know, that's pretty close. Some of that's going to vary based on how you ride, your size, if you're a heavier rider, a lighter rider, if you're riding on mostly hills, mostly flats, if you ride as fast as you can all the time, or if you're kind of taking it easy. That stuff's all going to vary, but you can expect for sure miles per gallon to be up 70, 75-ish or above, which is really, really great. And the Sprint comes with a 2.1 gallon gas tank, and when your light comes on, you still have about 30 plus miles to go, so you don't have to really rush to the gas station. But when my low fuel light comes on, I tend to go to the gas station immediately just because, why not? And I'm only ever able to get about 1.6 gallons into the tank before it's at the very top of the nozzle. That makes perfect sense. The fuel light comes on when you have half a gallon left. 1.6 plus 0.5 is 2.1. You're welcome for the math. Earlier in the video, I was talking about how you can ride these a long way. Our friend Tim, who rode to Reno and back, said he spent $40 in gas the whole trip. So pretty amazing gas mileage, and at about $5 or less per fill up, you can save quite a bit of money. The Sprint is 12.9 horsepower and has plenty of power for one person or up to 2 people to get moving along the road. When you have 2 up, you're going to notice a little more, a little slower acceleration, obviously. The gross vehicle weight rating on the Sprint is up into the mid 700 pound range, so you can load this thing down, but kind of ideally it's made for 1, maybe 2 people at the most. One person's going to obviously have the best experience. The Vespa is a great scooter if you're kind of wired like I am, where you want things to just work. You want to go outside, turn this thing on, it starts, it runs perfect. You stop somewhere, middle of nowhere, where you don't have any cell service, no problem, start it up, it works. There's a lot of peace of mind that comes with owning a Vespa. Just keep up on your service intervals, treat the bike well, and you rarely have any issues. All right, going through the handlebar controls. Top right, you got a kill switch. Standard on any scooter or motorcycle. Slide it to the left, kills your engine. Slide it to the right, allows you to start the scooter. You have a mode button right here. As you can see, we've got 527 total miles on this particular scooter. If you press the mode button, you drop into trip odometer A, press it again, it goes to trip odometer B. When you go get gas, you can press and hold the mode button, and you'll see that it cancels out the miles to 0. You can kind of keep track of your miles, or whatever you want to use that for. You got a clock on here as well. It's 2:57 at the moment. And of course on the bottom you have an electric start. On the left side of the bars you got a high beam, and you can also flash the high beam. You can see that it's flashing over there. Of course you have turn signals as well. When those are enabled, they flash right here. They don't make any noise. To cancel, push in. And then you have a horn. That's what it sounds like. And then the scooter's not started, so this oil light is on. This does not mean low oil, it means no oil pressure. There's no oil pressure when the scooter's not started. If I start this thing up, it disappears. Down here on the keys, you got this new standard situation. We got lock, close, off, and on. Close is the only position in which the key will actually come out of the scooter. In the other ones, you cannot pull the key out. Close is meant for kind of the Asian market, where there's so many scooters in the world, or anywhere in the world where there's a ton of scooters, and yours might be in the middle of a pile. And so in the close function, you can't open any of the storage compartments, but you can move the scooter around so that somebody could move your bike if they needed to get to theirs. Not really a problem we have here in the US, maybe someday. When you park your scooter in public, you're going to want to turn the bars all the way to the left and turn your key all the way to the left to lock the steering. Keep someone from just walking away with it. Pressing in on the key in the off or the on position is going to open up your glove box. It looks like this. Inside your glove box, you have a little fuse bank right there. But most importantly, you got a little space for some documents and a USB port to charge up your phone. There's also a manual seat lever to open up your seat, or you can use this seat pop button right here. When you do open the seat, be careful not to open it too quickly with this glove box down, because it occupies the same space. So get this glove box out of the way first. Your seat opens up like so. You have under seat storage. No pets, no ice cream. Your engine is below this seat bucket, so it gets a little warm under here, so you don't want anything kind of perishable. Gas cap right there. In Oregon, you can't pump your own gas in a car, but you can with a scooter or motorcycle, and it's right there. You're going to want to use 91 octane or higher. So the top case looks like this when opened, and a good amount of storage. You may be able to fit you can usually fit a helmet in here, maybe up to XL. A full face might be a little harder, but an open face helmet or a half helmet, definitely. And they've also redone this hinge, which is a lot better than it used to be. It used to be just kind of plastic with a metal piece through it. It's really smooth and opens up nicely. Here's what the new LED headlight looks like on the Sprint. You've also got the option to flash the high beam like so, or just leave the high beam full on. It is a super bright light, very, very visible in the evenings. And down here as well, you have LED running lights in the body. You got a nice disc brake in the front wheel there, drum in the back, ABS enabled front brake. So that's kind of the gist. The Vespa Sprint's a fantastic bike for urban use or for rural highways, or even a little bit of a interstate highway. In Oregon, where our freeway speeds are like mostly 55, 60, this will keep up, no problem. I just rode back here on 84, no problem at all. Kept right up with traffic, felt comfortable, and the windscreen really helped keep the wind off of me. The Sprint is the sportiest offering that Vespa has in the 150. A lot of things you can do to it if you'd like. There's other accessories you can add. You can black out pretty much anything. You could do lighting upgrades. You can do different accessories, different size windscreens, racks, kind of whatever. The accessorizing list is long when it comes to a Vespa. A lot of people make parts for them. Some parts are better than others, but there's a lot you can do with these things. There's even some performance parts if you're into that. I don't know, it gets up to like damn near 70 anyway. Don't know how much faster you really need to go without just jumping up to a GTS or a regular motorcycle. This will definitely get you around town in style. So that's it. Thanks for watching. This is Andrew here at Vespa Portland. See you next time.